I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh and Angel. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, my friend and yours, future Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week. We got Rogue Energy, we got ELYXR, we got BetMGM. However, we also have obviously UFC 311, PFL, all that stuff. Back to our sponsors though. Rogue Energy keeps me filled up whether I'm at home, whether I'm at the gym, which I've been going to, despite the fact that it's been negatives. It's been terrible outside. It's been very, very cold. I saw that they moved the inauguration indoors because it was cold.
Well, Josh, we got wildfires out of California. You're complaining about the cold?
Yes, I am. No, but I saw they moved the inauguration indoors because it was it's going to be 22 degrees. And then I looked up the temperature the same day in Kansas City and it was 11 degrees. I'm like, you pussies. I fucking, you
right?
Bitch made. Are you serious?
Dude, I saw people complaining it was cold in California. It was 40 degrees, 30.
I saw somebody in Las
50,
Vegas
I can't even remember
about that. It's like, dude, oh no, you have 50-degree temperatures on January.
You gotta 20th. Wear a long sleeve, maybe.
Oh no, So whatever. Just built different. But you know what though? When I'm home though, from being outside in the cold temperatures, I want something to warm me up. Warm me up some ELYXR Delta 8 gummies. You can enjoy them as well with code Soundoff at checkout for 10% off. However, our last sponsor, our friends of the show over at BetMGM. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no I guess we have one MMA card going down this weekend for the PFL. However, this is more of just a shout out to the football fans out there. It is NFC and AFC Conference Championship week. We got the Washington Commanders led by Jaden Daniels taking on Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
I've never heard of that football team that you first mentioned. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. Angel's still with the Washington football team. He's never gotten over it.
No, never heard of that football team either.
We got.
By the way, the fact that they say that on Morning Combat, I gotta give credit to Luke. That man. No care in the world.
I love Luke. You know what, dude? Good for Luke. I've heard him complain about Washington and Dan Snyder for years. They sold the team and now they're good. Good for him. Good for Luke. But that doesn't really matter though, because they're all going to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh man, everybody's better than Patrick Mahomes. It's time to be better than Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? Oh man, yeah. Another one fell last week. C.J. Stroud and. Be probably Josh Allen this week, man. I'm not gonna call it for sure. According to the current line.
Do you think they'll ever make a meme like the Incredibles meme, like they did years ago with the OKC when they traded all those players away, and it's in the cave with I can't remember the character's name with the orange hair,
yeah,
and it's a computer. Oh, it's not even that. It's Mr. Incredible looking at all the past superheroes that have been on the island. Do you think we'll ever have that? But it's all the other QBs and it's Mahomes looking at it.
That's basically what it is already. I'm not sure how. At this point, if you're one of those people who are like, oh, Josh Allen's better, Lamar Jackson's better. I can't imagine how it feels to just be wrong all the time. You know what I mean? It's got to be tough, right? Even though the facts change and the facts don't line up with your opinion, you still have to try and defend it. Even though you're not in the same reality as everybody else. This is more than just a Bills thing. I don't know. It's a societal thing I've noticed.
It's bigger than football?
It's bigger than football. And you know what's going to happen whenever the Chiefs win on Sunday? The referees!
By the way, did you hear that Mayor Lucas said they might not have a rally? Which is heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking, but not surprising because, we live in America and, basically
say something, but it could get really taken out of context.
Oh, man. Okay, go for it.
I can't because it's going to get taken out. I can't. It will literally.
You literally can't say it.
Okay, I'll say I'll be like, we know why. You know what I mean?
We know why.
We know who it is.
Yeah, we know that.
Now you see what I mean by that might get taken out of context. That's not what I mean at all. Just so everybody.
It's some bad people are gonna fuck up.
There's always gonna be people who just want to fuck things up. Doesn't matter how those people look. There's just people who are gonna do stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's the reality. It sucks because dude, the three-peat, and to not have a parade.
That sounds insane because you'd think it'd be the biggest one, right?
Exactly. Well, and I remember I was watching that shit live whenever it happened, and I saw the people running, and it's dude, even me being at home, dude, that's. I still remember that day so vividly.
Dude, that's right. That's right down that way, dude, from where we live.
Yeah, dude, I did not. I for the record didn't go to any of the Chiefs ones. The 2015 Royals one, got in the car. My family got about 3/4 of the way there and got stuck in traffic, so didn't get to go to that one. But But yeah, intended to go, you know.
I got.
So they're not really my thing anyway, but it's still fucked up, you know.
I gotta ask, who was the player who had to like step away because of the PTSD stuff? What a
Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
yeah.
running back up for Isaiah.
Is he at all like?
He now, I think we ended up releasing him, and he went. You know what? I think he might actually be playing for Washington. Hold on,
dude, that's actually insane.
No, he's with the Saints. He joined New Orleans Saints. That's his hometown. That's my bad. I got that wrong. But yeah, he was doing some PTSD shit, and he actually had a thing in college. I think I've told you about this.
I looked it up on my own. Now it's crazy.
Yeah, killed the dude who pulled their own gun on him.
Well, it actually doesn't say who did it. Actually, in the
but
report. he was involved in it. You can make your guesses.
Yeah, exactly. It was either him and the other guy, and even to just see that sort of thing, that's got to be fucked up. But anyways, yeah, if you follow that link down below, you can go down there and throw some money down on the Chiefs game, the Bills game.
No, I was kidding. I do not know that company that I just kind of started.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have our sponsor, Magic. No, I'm not gonna say it.
Spoon? What?
Huh? What? Brought to you by Squarespace. No, okay. You can take that one out. Who cares? No. Anyways, yeah. So a lot of stuff to bet on this weekend. If you have any issues, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. But if you're not, if you want to have some fun, if you want to make some money betting on the greatest city in America, ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and bet on the Kansas City Chiefs to win this Sunday.
I'll tell you what, some people might have to call a different 1-800 number after this Sunday.
Amen, brother. Amen. They're going to be on the phone like... I just can't. The referees just did it again, and I know that he got sacked 9 times. But why would the referees part the sea like that? And like, yeah, dude, I love it. Yeah, dude, I just can't. At any time, like I was on Demon Time on Saturday when the game happened. I was
on Twitter,
or on
X. I'm sorry.
I realized I shouldn't say, but yeah, basically on Twitter, on Reddit, I was just like,
oh, I know you were about to call it what you've been calling it.
Yeah. I was calling anytime like a bad play from the Texans would happen, like, I can't believe the refs made them do that. I can't believe the refs just let their fucking tackles look like turnstiles out there, just getting run over by Chris Jones, you know? The audacity. Anyways, that's enough from me, but we'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk about the Chiefs more later. I mean, come on, man. It's game week, man. Big game. That being said, there is no big MMA this week. There's a big fight, but not a big card. However, before we can break into that, we do have a recap. UFC 311 going down from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. The home of the Clippers was home to the UFC lightweight champion on Saturday night, Islam Makhachev. Back for the first time since beating Dustin Poirier in June. We knew the setup. Arman Tsarukyan rematch 6 years after fighting in St. Petersburg as lightly known lightweights at that point. Now going to collide for UFC gold. Until Arman Tsarukyan hurt his neck on weigh-in day. Or I guess he hurt it the night before. We didn't find out till weigh-in day or whatever. Renato Moicano. Money Moicano. The man cannot afford to lose. Until he did. Ends up stepping up on 1 day's notice. He did his best to build up to the fight. To try and get people to be intrigued. To try and get people to care. But in the end, when you're facing a guy like Islam Makhachev, you have to be perfect. And... in some cases, you have to be better than perfect. Islam Makhachev takes him down. He gets a submission win in 4:05 of the first round. Angel, give me your thoughts on Money Moicano.
Look, he did probably the best you could do on one literally day's notice to fight probably the pound for pound #1 guy on the planet right now when it comes to the sport. So it is what it is. Kind of the result I expected. Like I told Josh, I don't know how many guys how many champions who probably do the same thing to the number ranked 8th guy in the world. You know, we actually seen it. They actually don't do the same thing in some cases. But nevertheless, good of a performance, kind of what you expected, kind of heartbreaking because we got led into believe that we're going into this massive fight. We sold the fight on here actually ourselves too. We were kind of setting it up as this is going to be a generational moment, a moment we won't forget. You know, there's a big moment for the 4th title defense, the title defense record being broken, and
big fight, you know, a young kid too on Arman on the rise.
Yeah, Russia versus Armenia. I mean, even that Georgia versus Russia that we also had this weekend. I mean, all of it collectively building up to what could have been like a really massive moment and ended up not being.
Exactly.
Still ended up being cool, but everybody's kind of like, all right, we got through that fight, you know. And and it's no hate on Moicano. And look, I'd say Islam at least to me seemed very tentative in the fight, kind of waiting for Moicano to make a mistake. And the mistake that Moicano made was hitting Islam in the face. That's the mistake he made. And then once that happened, he took him down to the ground and Holy fuck, that Darce was a Darce, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it was technically called a Bravo choke.
Well, regardless,
yeah.
When it was locked up, it was a done deal.
Yeah. I mean, he if you guys didn't see the fight, which I'm sure you probably did, admittedly, but Moicano landed like a clean right hook, landed it. Islam stumbled for a minute, and I remember watching live, and I was like, man, yeah, we've seen upsets happen like this, like, oh shit, guy gets tagged, maybe he should shoot, and he doesn't shoot. Islam's not a dumbass. He instantly shot, gets a takedown, ends up getting a submission win not too long later. I don't have too many deep thoughts on this fight. Short notice fight. Good for Islam to get the win. Good for Moicano to get paid.
I just found something interesting.
Yeah.
May 23rd will be the 1-year anniversary of his debut, of Islam Makhachev's debut. That's how long he's been in the promotion.
May 23rd, like
2015.
Damn. So 10 years.
That'll be 10 years. That'll be his 10-year anniversary.
Wow. That's crazy. Dude, yeah, he beat Leo Kuntz in his debut.
I hope that's how that's pronounced.
Kuntz. He actually follows me on Twitter, but
really?
Yeah, fun fact. I have a few guys. He's the guy that lost, I think, to the guy that tried to fix a fight, and then like that South Korean guy, I think, and then like he ended up.
What?
You didn't know about this?
I didn't know that was him, though.
Man, I gotta double check this. I don't want to get this wrong because I'll be sued. Yeah, okay. So he faced Taehyun Bang. Taehyun Bang was the guy who he was going to throw the fight to Leo Kuntz.
By the way, didn't this guy just disappear because he had to deal with the Korean government and like we don't know anything about him?
Yeah. He was supposed to throw the fight, and then the guy he was going to throw the fight to, he went in and was like, they were like, yo, the heat's coming on. You got to win this fight now. So he went out there and won by split decision. Yeah, really close. But suffice to say, Islam Makhachev, in the 10 years he's been in the UFC, has completely solidified himself as one of the all-time greats. I'm not going to be the guy that, like, there's some people like, oh, he's cleaning out the division. Like, what can he really do? You rebook the Arman fight is what you do. I don't think this is actually a really hard thing to do. I think it's actually pretty straightforward, especially when you look at the division. Who else can you throw in there? Charlie Olives? Yeah, I mean, but at the same time...
He could be in your back pocket for later.
Exactly, and Arman just beat him, Like, you can run Charlie Olives against Max Holloway. They both called for that fight this week, Like, you could run that and then just rebook Islam Arman. I get punishing the guy, but there's not as many contenders. We're not in the position where you can punish the guy and be like, yeah, because we have another contender. We really don't. We have Charlie Olives. Dan Hooker and Gaethje are booked up. Chandler just lost. Holloway hasn't fought him yet, but he's coming off a loss. Gamrot coming off a loss. Dariush coming off a couple losses. Moicano just lost. That's the top 10.
It's rough.
It's rough. So at this point, you book Islam Arman. It's very simple. I'd be surprised if they didn't. I know Dana said what he said, but like, come on, it makes all the sense in the world. But do you think that's what's gonna happen? Like, what's your kind of vibe right now? I know that Dana said he wasn't gonna get the title shot.
I mean, unless they go like the Max Holloway route, just based off his last win at 155, but there ain't really a lot of choices unless they go. You know what's crazy? I mean, if they're not gonna go those routes, the only other way they could go is Ilya.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah,
that's the thing. So if it does happen, so be it. Right now, at this point,
yeah,
I wouldn't be upset at it, but it would have to happen now. You couldn't do it later.
I could see them running the Ilya fight, even though, admittedly, at this point, like, we can run through Islam's title reign real quickly. Wins the title October 2022 with a win over Charlie Olives. Great. Controversial decision win over Alexander Volkanovski in February. Then he knocks out Volkanovski, who stepped up with 10 days' notice when things start to get really dicey. Beat Dustin Poirier, good win, but obviously, 35 years old. Did he deserve the title shot? Probably not. And then Renato Moicano on a day's notice. Like, half his title reign has been featherweights, aging veterans, and, then we have the Moicano fight on a one-day notice. So, I think he should fight Arman, because I think Arman's really, like, the best. I think he's the closest thing we've had to a top contender, and we've had this guy just sitting in the back pocket, waiting for him to kind of technically earn his way back or whatever. I think you won't run that fight. If not, I guess you do have to run that Ilya fight. I mean, at that point, I don't want to see Charlie Olives. No offense to Charlie Olives, but I think he needs another one.
You think if they run Ilya, they'll make Arman fight someone else?
Yeah, I think if they run Ilya, they're going to rebook Charles and Arman. Arman said this week that, like, okay, fine, if Dana really wants me to do it, I'll beat Charlie Olives again, and I'll beat Michael Chandler. I'll beat two guys, Which I don't hate that. I'd like to see both those fights, but, like, dude, like, you have such a small window to make great fights, and Arman and Islam, in my opinion, is a top 5 UFC fight right now. I think both those guys are so good and so head and shoulder above the rest of the division. I genuinely believe that. So I would love to see that fight, man. And it's a shame what happened on Saturday, and it sucks that he had to pull out. But look, dude,
Also, 155 is an old division, dude. That's
It
something
is.
we haven't talked about. Like the young guard can't beat the old guard, and the old guard is just holding it down.
and it's not anybody's fault either, because sometimes we've had these fights where like the old guard is gonna face a guy from the young guard, and then like the old guard just somehow fucking Dustin Poirier gets Benoit Saint Denis, puts him out. You know, Justin Gaethje gets
Fiziev.
against Fiziev, yeah, beat him. You know, um, there's so many examples of guys like stepping up to that top level and just not being able to surpass it. You know,
Dude,
so,
there's a world where that would have been Arman and Oliveira, you know, because Oliveira gave him a good fight.
but Armand was the guy to break through, and at 28 years old, he is the youngest one out of his current crop. So.
By a fair bit, too.
Oh yeah, so I think it'd
At
be
least
such a
5 years.
shame. It'd be such a shame if they didn't book that, in my opinion. But weirder things.
They need to
happen.
sign 155 free agents, dude, in my opinion. They need to sign some of these guys who are outside the UFC who are really good 155ers. They're out there. I think they need to bring in some more talent and because at one point, these guys are going to not, if they don't get pushed out, they'll fizzle out,
Exactly.
which will be unfortunate. You know, you need to find guys who can transition in and build themselves up and, you know, maybe learn something from these vets as they're coming in to create talent, to create good fighters. Because, I mean, dude, the UFC, whether they decided, like, whether they choose it or not, like, they do end up developing talent in some scenarios. I mean, think about, like, a guy like Dustin, Max. Like, those guys have been in there a long time. Pretty much, Charles Oliveira. All their fights have been in the UFC. They developed in that environment. You got guys like Chase Hooper, Raul Rosas now, who are super young, who will be in the fire and learn through the fire.
Exactly. Yeah. And for 155 specifically, like you said, we have those young guys who have come through, and really Armand's the only guy to kind of just blow up the
And
whole
can you
scene,
think of
know?
many unranked 155ers? You're like, oh, dude, it's a matter of time before they break through.
No. not
Exactly.
really. No. And
But
we've
you
had-
probably could for some of the other weight classes.
It just feels like every single guy that we've had come through, like as far as like a young prospect, they all eventually end up meeting the same fate of being like, yeah, you're good, but you're still not better than Dustin Poirier. You're good, but you're still not better than Justin Gaethje.
Old example, dude. Anthony Hernandez against
That's a good
Cowboy.
one, yeah.
He fought the old guard, met his match, got beat up, never
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah, and even guys like, and there's levels to it too, right? Like think about a guy like Terrence McKinney.
Dude, Kevin Lee against
That's another
Tony.
one. That's another one. But like even like there's like levels to it. Like think of a guy like Terrence McKinney. At one point he came in, knocked out Matt Frivola 1-3 in a row, and then who was it that he ended up just meeting the wrath of?
It was either Gabriel Bonfim or Ismail Bonfim, which one fights at 155.
I wasn't even thinking about that one. I was thinking of his fight against Drew Dober.
Oh,
Drew
yeah.
Drew Dober turned him away.
I would say short
You know?
notice fight for him,
Mm.
and he could have won it.
Yeah, but okay, but let's use this as an example though. I'm just saying, like, even these guys who you don't even think of it, or like, oh man, like even like some of these guys, like, oh man, this guy looks like he's a shit, he's explosive. Oh wait, he can't even break into the top 15. And
Nasrat
that's like
Hapcrest.
that's the entire division. Like the top 15 is so brutal that like, dude, you look at it. Grant Dawson, younger kid. Benoit Saint Denis, up there in age, but still a younger talent, you know, in terms of fight miles. Jalen Turner, 13. Patty Pimblett, number 12. Hafil Fiziev, number 11. Everybody after that,
And those guys,
not named Arman Sarukian,
uh-huh.
is at least 33 years old.
I would say, and you can nitpick all those guys you just named off below. Like they all have their kind of, maybe a deficiency
Yeah.
here, this, there. They're not even guys that you're thinking like maybe necessarily championship level. Like they're good enough to beat all the other guys and maybe even be in the 15 and maybe beat a 15 guy there. But are they good enough to become champ?
No, probably not. No. And that sucks, but I just think 155, like it's still the UFC's premier division. The best talent in the world is at 155. Thing is, those
It has
those
some of the
older
best
guys,
fights, too.
Yeah, those older guys just won't leave their positions, and because of that, Islam Makhachev doesn't have a lot of actual challengers. So, hopefully they rebook the Arman fight. If not, I guess he'll fight Charlie Olives in a rematch or Ilya Taporia, and they'll run Arman against somebody else. So we'll see. Admittedly, I want to talk about the co-main event way more.
By the way, do you think before we skip,
Yeah, go ahead.
do you think the Moicano Patty Pimblett fight still makes sense?
I think it makes way more sense now than it did before.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Moicano fought for the title. I mean, at that point, and here's the thing: is like, people were comparing this to Ally Quinta, and I get it, but Moicano, like, I was there for that Ally Quinta run. Whenever I think he won 4 in a row. I think they were both entering their one-day title shot notice or whatever on 4 fight winning streaks. But like Ally Quinta was knocking out like the corpse of Diego Sanchez or whatever. Like Renato Moicano just mauled Benoit Saint Denis. Like he was coming in on a good winning streak. Had, he said he was training 5 rounds, like he's a seasoned guy, and he just got ran through, man. Islam Makhachev is truly a generational type guy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen next for him. I'll leave it at that.
He's older. I mean, probably not gonna fight for the title ever again.
But I do think a Paddy Pimblett fight at this point makes so much sense. I mean, ranked number 10. He's ranked 3 spots
But it
ahead of
seems
him.
like Paddy might already have something ready,
The rumor is Michael Chandler. That's the rumor.
which is crazy.
Yeah, I like that a lot though.
No, I mean,
like
I
that.
do too.
12 against number 7. You know.
Old
Shit.
guard versus
And
new
if Paddy
guard.
Pimblett wins, then you can still book Moicano because it's number 10 against number 7. You know, fuck, dude, let's go.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. All right, man.
Or who
co-main
knows?
event.
Maybe we'll do Dustin Poirier versus Paddy. Wait,
No chance. No
No.
chance. That'd be.
what if Paddy beat Dustin?
I don't know who the fuck. Dustin said the fight's going to be announced very soon, and I have no idea who it's going to be.
Dude, what if it's fucking Connor?
I think the worst.
Why wouldn't he
outcome-
risk it? He has nothing to lose.
Yeah. If you're Dustin, maybe you want that fight though, because you're like, damn, dude, the chance to make so much money and beat a guy I've already beaten twice already. Are you shitting me?
Unless he's fighting Colby.
That would be big, but I don't think he'll ever fight Colby. I trust Dustin Poirier's words when he says it's not about fighting. I just want that motherfucker to make money off my name. Because let's be honest here, Dustin Poirier is a much bigger star than Colby Covington, even at Colby's peak, you know. So, and also like Dustin just fought for the title, gave Islam his toughest fight in years. Colby just got fucking annihilated by Joaquin Buckley. Like the levels just aren't there right now for the fight to make sense either. Co-main event though, we'll talk about this because Merab Dvalishvili, he is that guy, and I'm coming on here, man. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not gonna eat some crow. I'm gonna hit you with guys with some I told you shows, right? I'm gonna be honest, man. I thought the betting odds, according to our friends over BetMGM, 4-1 favorite for a guy.
We both disagreed though.
That's correct. We both called this, right? 4-1 favorite, and we were both like, that's insane. That's insane for a guy whose best win is Courtside, who Corey's a dog. Don't take us the wrong way. But your best win being like a 49-46 win over Corey Sandhagen, and you have no other ranked wins. And not only other ranked wins, the only guy left in the UFC at this point, I think, is Raoni Barcelos. Like, he hasn't fought anybody. No offense to him, for the most part, Umar. And for 2 rounds, he's in there, and it's like, okay, well, he's outpointing Merab. You know, he's landing some big strikes. But Merab's still in that fight. But I thought he lost the first 2. He needs to rally back and win the next 3, and that's never an easy task to deal with. But he fucking did it. Merab Dvalishvili, and still, I want to say dominates the last 3 rounds, but clearly wins the last 3 rounds. And in round 5, just style on, taunting to the crowd, getting a couple takedowns, landing some big shots. Man, great stuff from the machine out there. Give me your thoughts on Merab Dvalishvili and still the upset win on Saturday.
I mean, look, we even forget that it was actually like a relatively close fight. It was super high paced, a lot of action, a lot of antics too there with Habib and Merab. Habib being very hard when you would go to the corner on Umar. A lot of pressure. It was a big moment. I liked it with what I heard someone else say on a podcast, but they're like, Umar gave the kind of performance that would probably beat any other 135 around the planet. The only issue is it wasn't good enough to beat that 135. The guy. It was really good. It probably beats everybody else in the division, but it wasn't able to beat him. That fucking engine is something else. It needs to be studied. It's insane. And Merab is now entered talks of 135 GOAT. Like, people are trying to start that conversation now, and I get it. I mean, he's certainly there.
I'm not going to start that conversation.
Look at the
just
spree.
yet, personally.
Look at the spree. He might not be the one, but he's entering the conversation.
Okay, if we're talking about entering the conversation, that's totally fair, because at that point, it's
I don't know if it's him. But
technically, Conor McGregor is still one of the greatest featherweights of all time, like, there are guys in the conversation, but they're not,
Yeah.
But we can run this down. So, essentially, joins the UFC December 2017, 2 losses to start the run. I remember the Ricky Simon loss. I don't even remember that he lost to Frankie Saenz. So, didn't even remember that one. But this is what champions do. He's sitting at 7-4. He has not lost since. He has won 12 fights in a row. And some of the names in here: Brad Katona, Casey Kenny, John Dodson, Cody Stamann, Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, Piotr Jan, Henry Cejudo, Sugar Sean O'Malley, and Umar Nurmagomedov. I get why people put him in the top 5 at that point. He's not the guy. But I think with a few more title defenses, he could be. And if you look at that bantamweight division, I fail to see who's going to do it. Who should probably be next up? Probably Piotr Jan. Piotr Jan, if we're being honest, we're talking about the meritocracy of it.
You know what's funny? The only person I think who could do it is, it's going to sound crazy to you.
It's going to be Sean O'Malley.
I think it's going to be Sean O'Malley.
You know what's funny? And I'm not a big Sean guy.
I think it's because he has the speed. He has the precision. His takedown defense isn't bad. And he was. Let's see if the injury was a factor.
Look, the only guy that was going to be without technical him was going to be Umar Nurmagomedov. And in that rounds 4 and 5, he got the shit kicked out of him. The only guy that could probably catch him reasonably would be Sean O'Malley, just fucking going for it. Maybe, you know what, I could see maybe a guy like Davidson Figueroa just going in there and being like, you know what, fuck it, I got 2 rounds, I'm throwing everything at him. Because, you know, like just a crazy guy like that. But if you're talking like, I don't think Davidson's going to even get in the title contention.
Dude, but
again,
of all the guys who lost to Merab, like Sean seemed
Merab was
untouched.
in it. Merab was in, not Merab. Jeez, Sean was in it in his fight against Merab. Like he was in that fight up into the championship rounds. And even then, like it's like, man, if you rerun that one in a different environment, who knows? That was a weird Sphere show. Not a lot of knockouts, not a lot of finishes on that one. It was a weird environment. The guys, I'd be very, if I could interview a couple guys from this card, I'd honestly ask them about that because like everybody did kind of fight a little bit differently. I'm not sure if that was something like in their brain,
And the depth perception too.
Yeah, exactly. Like little things like that to make a difference. Like look at UFC Apex shows versus big stadium shows. Like it's a real fucking thing. I'd be interested to see about that. So I could see them rerunning that one, and I wouldn't hate it. But I think if we're talking about the meritocracy of it, it should be Petr Yan. But I don't think Petr Yan's gonna beat him. You know, like who else? Corey Sandhagen. Corey should have got a title shot after he beat Marlon Chito Vera. Just saying. But
I think Corey.
you know,
I think Corey's an interesting matchup. He's definitely a guy who will study very hard for his opponent. But
in round 1, he's dangerous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think he's dangerous until he get taken down because then it's like the fight's gonna change. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in Merab's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the division, I mean, Corey is obviously coming off the loss to Umar, but before that, he'd won like 3 or 4 in a row, which
He's dealing with injury,
had the injury, so he just because of that he missed out on the title shot. Sean hasn't fought since he lost to Merab. Petr won 2 in a row and looked damn good doing them, but has lost Merab already. Umar just lost Merab, and then you have Davidson who just lost to Petr Yan, and we have Marlon Chito Vera.
I feel like they're gonna go to Sean route.
I think they will too. I think it should be Petr Yan, but I think they're gonna go Sean. Yeah.
Unless they're able to push someone through from underneath. I mean, who's on the lower end there?
I mean, dude, there's nobody.
Cejudo Song Yudong, Mario Bautista, which I mean, I know they're not, crying to get him
off, dude.
Get him in a
if
big
Mario
fight.
Bautista gets a title shot, I'm gonna blow my brain.
Well, no. I mean, they're not gonna go Mario Bautista. But I'm just saying, as far as like maybe he gets a win.
No, I mean at any point in time.
Oh well.
Kyler
Phillips, I think he's coming off a house. Iman Zahavi trying to break through.
Marcus McGee, Montel Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of the guys, like, with a few wins, they could be there, but, like, not right now.
Not right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's either going to be Sean or Petr.
I feel like Merab's going to take a long break. We won't see Merab till late 2025.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it depends. How real is this? He said last month, he's like, I want to fight 3 or 4 times in 2024. If he's real, we'll be seeing
Holland wants to break his record this year.
Yeah, which
that's why he's tapped.
We'll talk about him, dude. We'll talk about him in a fucking minute. God damn, I have some comments about him. But yeah, man, I'm not sure who Merab fights next, but I think it'll probably be Sean. It should be Petr if we're talking about the meritocracy aspect of it. But they're creating UFC rankings any day now, so who knows? The new rankings may have Sean O'Malley still number 1 anyway, so who really gives a shit? But just to kind of close out, impressive win from the machine. Love to see it. Umar will be back. In fact, I think we'll see this fight probably within 2 years' time. I mean, I saw some people.
Damn, you think Merab's still gonna be champ in 2 years?
No, but I mean, like, we'll see it at some point. Maybe Umar has a title and Merab, they run it back by that point. I'm just saying, like,
within the next year.
It feels fate to me that these guys will fight again. But I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool.
There's no way. Let's also. I'm gonna.
How old is Merab too?
30. He just turned 34.
Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, literally this past week.
So this is a big turning point right now in his career.
It is a very big turning point. We'll see how he does, but I don't know, man. I think let me just also stomp the shit out right now, guys. If you think Umar, because I saw John Anik and a few other UFC commentators and high profile UFC figures were like, guys, they should just do an instant rematch between Merab and Umar. Stop it. Stop. Please stop it. Please make people.
I mean, they could, but why would they?
Because he has the last name Nurmagomedov. That's why. That's the only fucking reason. Like, it's the only reason he got the title shot to begin with, Maybe not get the title shot to begin with. The reason why he fought Corey to get a title shot, Yeah, I don't know. Let's just not do that. Let's actually have these guys fight, and let's have him work its way back, because that was an excellent fight on Saturday. Let's talk about this one fight down. Light heavyweights. Yuri Prochazka knocks out Jamal Hill in the 3rd round. Yuri's something else, man. I mean, we heading into this one, very, it was a back and forth fight, I'll say, from Jamal Hill. He had some moments. He did get dropped before he finished in the 3rd, but he landed some clean strikes. But Yuri's just so odd. He's so awkward. He actually, and the worst part, too, for Jamal, he had his hands up at points. Not all the time, Not all the time. I'd say 60% of the time he had his hands up, but that's good enough to get a knockout win. Give me your thoughts on Yuri's win on Saturday night.
I mean, this is some of the best Yuri we've ever seen. Good defense, good offense, putting it all together, moving around the cage comfortably. Didn't even cut a lot of weight for this one. He felt great all fight week, man. And then he had that person who he met who I forgot her name, but she has cancer, and he flew her out. And dude, it would have been, I'm not gonna lie, it would have been really sad if he would have lost and that gal would have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Luckily, we haven't had any scenarios, I think, in the UFC where we flew out people who are going through a hard time and then their fighter gets knocked out. Well, actually, that's a lie. ELYXR when he knocked out
I guess you're right.
Jai Herbert's. That one was rough. That was a one time, but nevertheless, going back to the fight, I mean, fuck, dude. I said it before we started the show. I'm like, is Yuri the second best light heavyweight on the planet right now?
And to that I said, no, that's Alex Poatan Pereira. That's him. Because Magomedov Ankalaev, and we'll talk about this news in a bit, is the greatest light heavyweight on the planet. I'm feeling confident, guys. I actually picked all the underdogs on this one. You know, I picked, well, I guess the Armand fight didn't happen, but I picked Yuri, he was the underdog. I picked Merab, he was the underdog. I picked Renato, who's like a plus 120. But that was basically a pick. But whatever, I'm counting it, goddamn.
I wish I would have picked RDR if I didn't know fucking Holland was going to lay a goose egg.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of feeling myself right now. But look,
I had a bad week.
Yeah, hey man, not everybody could be.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't get the Islam pick at all. I guess we both lost there.
But we both would have picked Islam anyway. So I don't think if we knew he was fighting Moicano.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Anyways, yeah, man, I fully agree with you. This is the best year he's ever looked, in my opinion. He's had some UFC, even the fights where he's won, people forget, like the Volkan Oezdemir fight, for example. Motherfucker was getting tagged early, man. Like even the fights where he's getting big finish wins, he's taking big shots. This is the first fight where I think he had a few decent shots. Jamal Hill is always going to get his, but for the most part, looked great on Saturday night. I had him leading on the scorecard team into the third. Then he ended up getting the stoppage win there as well.
Still has not seen the scorecard since 2016.
One of a kind, Yuri Pushak. Did you see afterwards? They're like, Yuri, what are you going to do in celebration?
Yeah, I mean, no judgment, you know, if that's what he's into.
I flew a couple guys from my village out here, 2 crazy guys. We are going to go and drink, and they're going to see something. I'm just like, bro, what is that? Hey, man, what does that mean? You know?
Hey, like I said, I don't know what's going down. You know, for all I know, they're playing Legos in there.
That's what I always think too. You know, totally just playing Legos. Yuri, he's not going to get a title shot. He wants that third fight with Pereira. He needs to do more, unfortunately. But hey, man, with a win with the Ankalaev win, who knows? He could be right there in line. But at this point, I think probably we're looking at maybe Rochich. No, I guess he just fought Rochich. Carl Silberg's booked
against Blachowicz.
Roundtree. No, Blachowicz and fucking Oldberg are booked.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're saying like the winner fights.
I feel like if Oldberg wins that, Oldberg might just fight for the title.
I could see that.
City kickboxing connection, yeah. Izzy and him are cool.
I just think the winner fights for the title no matter what, probably. Because but that's if Alex is champ.
Yes.
If Ankalaev wins, it fucks up the whole thing. But at that point, Jan's the only guy to take a scorecard off Alex Pereira. So now, granted, nobody's made a scorecard really with Alex Pereira outside of him, but you know, hey, still counts.
You know what someone said that I thought was really good? Jamal Hill versus Khalil Roundtree.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh man, you know what they should do? Yeah, you know what? Jamal Hill, Roundtree, those two were booked previously, and then give me Krylov, Yuri.
Krylov's on a win streak.
Yeah, he's won 4 in a row.
Shit, if he wins that,
he's right there. So I like that, man. But the point being, fun stuff for both these guys. They, you know, neither one was ever going to get a title shot with a win, but hopefully they can, put something together.
He might make it to the third fight with Poatan, dude.
He very well might. I mean, depending on how he does, depending on what's up with Poatan, I would not rule it out, especially considering that second fight happened on such short notice that whenever a thing like that happens, UFC is typically like, okay, well.
And he didn't look that bad in the first fight.
Yeah. Shit, dude. Hey, that's the whole thing. Is our first fight had a controversial stoppage. He won the first round.
He's so motivated. It's crazy how motivated he is by Alex.
Yeah, I love it, dude. That's what all-time greats do. You know? Now we have, except with the main card, this one got bumped up. Jailton Almeida defeating Sergey Spivak. First round knockout. Not too many thoughts on this one. Good stuff from Jailton. Give me your thoughts.
I mean, pretty textbook. I thought Spivak could have done. He landed some. I can't remember if he landed some hard shots, and Johnson was like, "Yeah, fuck this."
He did land some good shots over. Yeah.
Yeah, like they were getting into some exchanges there for a bit, and it seemed a little interesting. I'm like, "Oh, this is where it could get wild." But then Jalton, shut that shit down real quick.
Yeah.
So unfortunate for Spivak, but good one for Almeida though to get back on the win column.
Absolutely. Good stuff from him.
Was this? He's won since then, right? Because since the Curtis Blades fight.
Yeah, he got knocked out obviously by Blades in March. He beat Alexander Romanov, the fattest man in the UFC last June, and then he beat Sergey Spivak.
Has Blades fought since that one?
He got knocked out by Aspinall, and I think he's supposed to.
Is that what was next after that?
That what was next, and then we have Rezan Kuniev next month.
Yeah, that's like a complete
unknown.
Yeah, what the fuck?
They want new blood. Sometimes they do that, dude. At heavyweight, dude, Sergey Pavlovich's debut was against Alistair fucking Overeem in 2019. We'll forget this shit. Like sometimes they're just.
And he won too. You're not even wrong.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, dude. We got new blood. We're just gonna throw him straight to the top. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, dude. Kyle Sakur versus Pantoja.
God damn, that was a fun 2 rounds though. Was that not? I think they did the right call with that one. Still.
No, definitely. Ursa.
Oh shit, man, he was so close.
Crazy that guy could have been UFC champ.
I know, dude. He was that close. But that's one of the reasons why, not to bring it back to Merab Umar, that's why I pick the more seasoned guy like 99% of the time. Like when you're in the 5th round for the first time or the second time, you're gonna make some mistakes, dude. You got to be flawless to beat the best, and he was not flawless. Steve Ursig, or Umar. So opening up the main card though, man, we got to talk about this. Renato Ritter, RDR, the Dutch Knight. God, this guy has some badass nicknames. Ends up winning by submission in the first round over Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland, and I'm saying this as somebody who's given a lot of, in the run time of this show, I've given a lot of praise to Kevin Holland. I've always said he's one of the most fun guys in UFC. I called him last week. I said he's kind of like a modern day Diaz brother. He may give a fuck by the fight. He may not. You know what? But he's going to come in there. He's going to give it his all. He's going to put on a fun fight. And then Kevin Holland immediately heard those words from me on last week and immediately went in there and did not try even one iota. Yeah, he didn't throw the fight, but he wasn't willing to go the extra mile to win it either.
Also, he tapped so he wouldn't get his 90-day suspension or whatever, his 3-month suspension.
Yeah, and just 4 losses in his last 5 now. I don't know what to say about this. This was just very, very disappointing stuff out of Kevin Holland. I expected so much more.
I mean, he's just going to fight. I think that's his whole thing. I think he's just going to fight as much as he can. If he gets the win, he gets the win. If he doesn't get the win, so be it. He's not. And I think he's already come out now and been like, yeah, I'm not really worried about the title.
Yeah.
I felt like the title just adds more problems.
That's what he said, yeah. No,
kind of to break it down. I mean, I know that's not word for word, but roughly he's just not. I mean, I think if things work out, he gets the wins, they're kind of rolling, he ends up in the position, obviously, he's going to be happy, but it's not his ultimate goal,
Exactly. And also, for a guy like Kevin Holland, that's what he says now, but I also think, man, he may just be depressed or something, because people forget, man, whenever he was coming up, he was talking about the title all the time. I remember whenever he beat what was it? Was it Jacare? And then he started flexing over Israel Adesanya in the cage and talking shit.
I think his motivation just changed. I think he realized
maybe he made money and just got content, and that's okay.
Maybe
in his position, I do the same thing.
Because dude, that guy's like 1 or 2 wins away from fighting for the title. Like, if he would have beat Marvin Vettori, it would have been him versus Israel Adesanya very likely at some point.
And if he would have beat Derek Brunson a few months later, it was the same stakes,
Yeah, but no, he just didn't end up breaking through. And he could have beat those guys. That's the crazier part. I think that's the part that pisses me off, is I think he could have beat those guys.
I remember the Brunson. Well, he tagged both those guys, nearly knocked out both of them. But I think it was the Vettori fight, specifically, where like in like the 5th round, maybe like he tagged him bad. And then, he just couldn't stop the takedown even then.
I just wish he would throw in, 6 to 8 more pounds of muscle, dude. Cut down from 200 instead of, 190 to 185.
Yeah.
From 195. And then, I feel like he'd be focus locked and he could do some shit.
I agree. And it sucks, man, because he really... And then you add in... Here's the thing. It was just a bad week for Kevin Holland. You had the loss. You had the fact that it looks like he didn't really try too much in there, which I'm never this guy. I hate to talk about guys and say that
he doesn't like grappling. He doesn't like fighting. I think he doesn't look forward to grappling in a fight, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and it's I get it, man, but you're a professional fighter, and I'm just asking you to try, man. I'm asking you to try. If you're going to go in there and you'd be on the UFC roster, just try and put in the effort. And if the fight hits the mat, that's never that does not mean you should just automatically quit. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think he quits, but he's like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, just disappointing stuff. And then you add on the fact that like he was on Rampage Jackson's podcast being like, yeah, I heard you talking shit about me. I'll fight you, da 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 da. And it's like, dude, like, first of all, Rampage Jackson would put you through a fucking mat. I feel like these new kids just don't know sometimes. Like you see some, like sometimes, man, like these new kids coming through, they just don't know veterans of the game. Like Rampage Jackson, even at 44 or whatever, he will slam you through the fucking mat, dude. Like you don't want that problem. And dude, Rampage, somebody could do an edit of this, okay? Of Rampage Jackson sitting across the table from Kevin Holland, and Kevin's like, yeah, I told him I wanted to fight you because of that. And he's like, no, you don't want to fight me. People think they know what they want. You don't know. You don't know what you want. You don't want to fight me. It's like, dude, that is the coldest fucking shit I've heard in a minute. So yeah, bad week for Kevin Holland. Speaking of Rampage, before we move on, did you see the clip of Rampage sparring with Alex Pereira? It was actually really cool.
I think I did, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. It's kind of like, oh damn, what is it, like 18 years apart as champion, fucking sparring. That's actually pretty cool shit. So I'd love to see it.
Found in the same division.
Yeah, exactly. Pereira having to go in slow motion a little bit for Rampage, but that's okay. You know, it's all right. Prelims, we got to talk about this one, and we're gonna lead off with this fight. It was the prelim, kind of headliner or whatever you want to call it, and it's one that I feel like I wanted to talk about this fight more than any other. Raoni Barcelos upsets Peyton Talbot 30-27, 30-27, 30-26 across the board for the, I believe, 37-year-old Raoni Barcelos. Let's talk about it. Peyton Talbot, Angel. I'm not sure if you've heard the internet. He's been fraud checked. He's garbage. He's pole dancing. He's terrible. He's fruity. All the stuff. Everything you've heard.
Him and Frank Ocean.
Look.
Aren't they just boys? Like, all jokes aside?
Yeah, well, yeah. From my understanding, they just met once. But
I was about to say it was one interaction that's everybody needed.
Exactly. They're like, damn, they're fucking. That's it.
They're getting it on.
They're big John McCarthy. Let's get it on.
They're Frank Ocean.
Yeah, they're Frank Ocean. Anyways, we've hyped up Peyton Talbot on this show a fair bit, and I think well deserved. Give me your thoughts on the fight. Give me your thoughts on the loss, and then also the fan reaction, because the way that people have attacked this kid, and it happens anytime a hyped up prospect loses, like they get attacked, but this one's been insane.
I was gonna make a joke. It was like UFC 193. I cried and threw up like that, and that shows you. No, I mean, all jokes aside, kind of like reel it back in.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, he's young and he lost, so fucking be it. Like, he started training not that long ago. He's talked about it openly. He's like, I didn't know about MMA until like 2019 or some bullshit like that. Not very long. And he's kind of rapidly picked it up and done his own thing. And like I said, he's a very unique individual. He's not like a lot of guys. He lives how he wants to live. He's very comfortable in his own skin. He's very comfortable being himself, which I gotta give him a lot of credit for, because a lot of people struggle with that, myself. And I don't even think he got that. I mean, he struggled in the grappling department, but like, if you watch that fight, he fought his ass off. He was trying to get up. He got up a few times. He landed some heavy shots. I mean, he tagged Raoni Barcelos a few times. He just wasn't able to keep it going and build it up to enough to win multiple rounds. He ended up losing, but he had several moments where I thought he looked kind of decent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, and that's my biggest issue. This was not a 30-24 got dog walked, fucking no success. Just he got beat by a veteran of the game who was able to exploit holes in his game. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and this is gonna be controversial. Sometimes when you're like a young talent just getting UFC, it's okay to lose. In fact, not only is it okay, it might be good for you to lose, dude. Imagine Peyton Talbot doesn't run into this issue. He just keeps on knocking out dudes. 26 years young, he somehow finds his way into a title shot or into like a top 5 guy like Ken Cejudo. They're gonna end up beating the shit out of him. They're going to take him down. They're going to hold him down. They're going to do what people are actually talking about the way Raoni Barcelos beat him, Like, there's going to be no success. He's going to get annihilated. For a guy who's 26 years old, has never tasted defeat, this is the best possible thing for a guy like Peyton Talbot. He's not a dumbass. You see him talk. He's eloquent, which people hate him for. But he's an eloquent young kid. This is going to help motivate him and help him grow. It's okay for guys to lose. Genuinely. I know there's like these
very well-mannered, the young Peyton Talbot. Huh?
Yeah. There's new fans coming in here who like don't like, they think we're like boxing. Like if you have one loss, you're like this fucking scrub, because like in boxing, for the most part, you fight 30 guys who are nobody and then you face one good guy. And if you lose that one, you're probably not that good, Peyton Talbot is a very good fighter. He's young. He'll be back. And the reaction is just so...
They probably saw that 7-4 Merab record back in the... They're like, yeah, this guy will never be anything.
Yeah, dude, exactly. Like, Merab Dvalishvili lost his first 2 UFC fights. He fought in the co-main event and beat this unstoppable...
I think he
Umar
even started
Nurmagomedov.
off negative in his just MMA career.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way the fights happen. Jack Della Maddalena started off 0-2. He's won 17 fights in a row.
And he's beat multiple ranked guys now.
Exactly. Sometimes it's not only okay to lose, it's good to lose because you would not know about the holes in your game otherwise. So I feel like I had to say that because, man, I'm seeing, like, I got this video recommended to me on YouTube. And, like, sure enough, if you look up Peyton Talbot fraud check, there's like 7 of these guys who are all like they're very original. Okay. Like, yeah, man, he came.
This is why Peyton Talbot got fraud checked.
Exactly. Like, he got fraud checked. He had no heart. It's like, dude.
We'll do a body language analysis. Look at him. Look at him at the weigh-ins.
Exactly. Just stupid shit, bro. Just stupid shit. So Peyton Talbot will be back. I still think he has a great future in the UFC. And like I said, I'm the type of guy, like, losing is never acceptable. If I fuck up, even at this YouTube thing, or if I fuck up at work, I take that personally, very harshly. But people learn through failure. And that's one of the things you have to learn and grow from. So Peyton Talbot will be back. Is what it is. Shit happens. Sometimes that's all you gotta say. Shit happens. But rest of the prelims, Azamat Bekikov knocking out Zachary Reese.
Short notice, man. Guy killed it. I mean, that's how the fuck you do it.
Yeah, brutal. Bogdan Guskov, also known as Anthony Smith, scoring a submission win over Billy Alenka. Short notice replacement.
Did it come without ease? Billy Alenka was game for a round there.
He was. He did not look too bad in the first. But Bogdan is proving to be a dangerous guy out of Uzbekistan. 3 in a row, all by finish. Ryan Spann, Zach Palga, and now Billy Alenka. Pretty good winning streak, man. Pretty good stuff from him. Grant Dawson defeating Carlos Diego Ferreira. Good win for him, for Grant.
By the way, I feel bad because this felt so, like, forgotten in the midst of the card. Like, it was just kind of like a... Don't get me wrong, It wasn't the most exciting fight.
It doesn't help, yeah.
It's a 40... The guy, Diego Ferreira, just turned 40 that day.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like, whatever, formerly ranked 155er Grant Dawson got another win. And I think he's like, 2-3 win streak right now?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, 3. Just like you, Rafa Garcia, Ferreira. Older guys in there, vet, Joe Selecki, who this is probably not his level. Just to be honest.
Probably.
No. It looks like Grant's almost due for another important fight at 155,
Yeah. I agree. And as far as Carlos Diego Ferreira, at 40 years old, this probably puts an end to his kind of little run that he's been putting together, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, I feel like I actually am happy you brought that up. I feel this fight kind of got overlooked, Yeah. Happy for Grant, suck for Diego Ferreira, but it is what it is. Prelims, man. Eileen Perez just keeps on winning fights, man. You don't gotta like her. You don't gotta like the OnlyFans gimmick.
But she's winning.
She's winning. Defeats Kara Hosa by unanimous decision 29-28, 29-28, 30-27 across the board. Dude, she just keeps on winning. And, like, she's at a position now at women's bantamweight where she's due
for a big fight, right? Like, who could she get? Let's see.
Current rankings have her position at number 11, which makes no sense. Have they updated rankings? Yeah, they would have. Yeah. So that makes no sense, but still ranked number 11, even though she beat Carol Hosa, who's ranked number 8. That shows you how little the rankings people give a shit these days. I think
you got to give her an Irene.
Irene makes sense. Do you go Irene? Do you go... I could see them honestly throwing a Misha Tate 5-round main event.
I could see them doing that. They could go that route, but Misha, I can't even...
Her last win was Julia Avila a year ago. Right?
And I know MBS is booked, and I know Macy Chason's booked.
Correct. So, I mean, I wouldn't hate Norma Dumont, Eileen. The thing right now is
Norma's on the verge of a title shot, though.
Well, that's the rumor is she's going to fight Kayla Harrison for an interim title next. That's the rumor. That's the word on the street. Word on the street is that Kayla Harrison is going to be fighting for an interim title, and Norma Dumont's in the running. So, I wouldn't hate that, but look, here's how women's bantamweight should go. It should be Juliana Pena against Kayla Harrison next. Obviously, that's like one of the only fights that anybody would.
By the way, if they don't want to book that, they might as well just book Tracy Cortez versus Eileen Perez in a one-off at 135. Settle the beef.
I like that. I'm not even joking with you. I think that makes a lot
of sense. They got drama, man, and it's organic.
It's organic drama. What's Tracy at? Number 11 in women's flyweight versus number 11 in women's bantamweight.
Dude, we never get ladies having beef, man.
I wish we did more catchweight bouts in general. So I'm down with this. Not catchweight, but like kind of like two people intersecting.
Could you imagine they do 130 catchweight?
Yeah, but
if Eileen could make that,
they don't even need to do that. They could just have Tracy go at the 135. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just a little one-off. Get that out of the way. I'm sure they'll be happy afterwards.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, man. As far as rest of UFC 311 goes, Moicano upsetting Rinya Nakamura. Rinya just looked.
I'm surprised no one called this a fraud check. It kind of seemed flat, a little bit flat, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as fraud check goes, man, like this is definitely the closer one, in my opinion. But at the same time, I don't think either one of these guys got fraud checked. I mean, Rinya just looked like he didn't show up. You know, sometimes guys just have off nights.
And also, Goffrod has a lot of experience on it.
Yeah, this is the way I always say it. Like, if people watching this probably aren't fighters, I'm assuming. And I'm definitely not, you know, but like, have you ever gone to the gym before? Have you ever felt like, oh man, I feel like shit, I don't want to go to the gym today? That was Renato Nakamura on Saturday night, you know, felt flat. Bernardo Sarpaj defeating Ricky Tercios. Good win for him, Ricky Tercios. Man, I hope that doesn't put an end to his UC run, but he's had some.
That's rough, man. And he's on a tough contract too, so you know he has a lot of fights.
Exactly. I mean, we can run him down, man. He's now 2-3 in the UFC, and he's lost 3 of his last 4. So that one,
and it's 5 fights.
But
it's very likely it was a maybe 5-6 fight deal. I mean, they could keep him around, but he needs to win one back.
Yeah. Sopaj, Rosas Jr., and Zahabi, all losses. That's no shame in losing those, but damn, dude, that's just tough, you know. And
For
then
a guy I expect more out of. I feel like he should be better than what he is. It's crazy because his counterpart Brady Heistan has done good, but he's been out of the cage for a minute now. Let me see. Last time. Never mind. June 2024. I thought it was a lot longer than that.
Gotcha.
But he did have a canceled bout against Jake Hadley in October.
Gotcha. Well, in opening up the card was Tagir Ulanbekov picking up a decision win over Clayton Carpenter. Good stuff at flyweight. Tagir slowly but surely kind of keeping himself alive at 125.
He got slowed down. I think. What was it? There was a loss that set him.
Tim Elliott in March 2022.
That one loss
has not lost since then though. So
yeah, just not have been super active and had a lot of canceled bouts. Kind of unfortunate, but yeah, I feel like that Tim Elliott loss kind of prevented him from being somewhere sooner.
Yeah, and
I'm pretty sure that was a fight where Tim Elliott fought dirty.
I think so. Real
dirty.
Which honestly, like we said at the time, like, you know what, good for you, Tim. I mean, you kind of dealt with some shit, you know.
Based. I mean, I get it. You know, it's part of the game.
Exactly. Before we move on, I have to ask you, Angel, give me your letterboxed rating for UC 311, the pay-per-view as a whole.
This bitch was like a 2.5 to a 3, bro.
2.5 to 3. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a.
Losing the main event was a big hit.
I'm gonna give it a 3 though. I had fun.
Be honest. Had fun. Would you have not given this at worst if it would have had, let's just say Saryugan and Arman would have been a banger. Saryugan and Islam would have been a banger. That shit would have been a 4, probably.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a card that's a 3 because of the main event dropping out. But like the fights themselves, you know, the co-main event was one for the ages. You know, the Yuri Hill fight was a banger, absolute war. You had, obviously, opening up the main card, RDR and Holland was fun. The Peyton Talbot fight was fun. Like, even though he lost, you know what I mean? Like, so overall, a fun event. It's just the lacking in the star power, and the main event dropping out really brought it down a star. You know, but you're giving it 2.5. I'm gonna give it a 3. So, no UC this week. No UC. No major boxing this week either. However, we do have one quick card to.
By the way, is that gonna be our new thing? Are we gonna do like a letterbox rating each card?
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, since they're putting UC events on letterbox, I kind of like that. I like that. I think it'd be fun. Make a little clip each week, you know, letterbox rating.
2 3/4. You know?
I'll even make a playlist.
2.75 was our rating for UFC.
Exactly.
I can't wait till one of us just fucks us over on one of these and be like, no, I'm giving it 1 star. No stars.
Yeah, we're gonna give UFC Vegas 101 fucking 0 stars. Like, fuck that fight. No. Anyways, so coming up this weekend, no UC, no boxing, but we do have PFL. Which, God, dude, the branding, even though Bellator is dead, the PFL branding, they just still fuck it up. So this is marketed as Bellator Champion Series Dubai or Bellator Road to Dubai. However, because Bellator no longer exists, last week they changed it to PFL Road to Dubai. So this is PFL Champion Series 1. In the main event, Usman Nurmagomedov.
Wait, you know what I see it as on here? It says PFL Road to Dubai Champion Series. On ESPN Plus was the other one I found.
Yeah, they're taking the piss, right? Like, these guys can't be for
And then I see Road to Dubai Champion Series, just straight up.
Ridiculous. Anyways.
Hey, it's on ESPN Plus, though. We figured out what to do.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
Kind of a W, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Well, it's going to be on Max in the States. So. Yeah, right? Yeah, right? Isn't that like confusing? I think it's ESPN Plus everywhere else and Max in the States. So.
I'm going to ignore everything you just said.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. So we have... In the main event, Usman Nurmagomedov, 18-0 with 1 no contest. facing Ireland's Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes, big news. Paul Hughes, man, it's signed to the PFL. This kid has looked the real deal. Now, normally sometimes we have these Cage Warriors prospects come out and they're kind of like, they don't necessarily live up to the hype. Dude, this kid is on
I feel like a lot of Cage
run.
Warrior guys could be hit or miss.
Yeah, this kid's on a run. 2-0 in the PFL now. Knocked out win over Bobby King. It was like kind of it was a showcase fight. But he faced AJ McKee, and this fight was a split decision win for him. I don't know how it was a split. He beat the shit out of AJ McKee, especially in that third. Nearly finished him. Ends up getting the decision win to earn this fight. 18-0 against 13-1. Dagestan versus Ireland. It writes itself. Conor McGregor.
It's crazy how that's become like a thing now. When was that ever going to be a thing?
I know. No other sport, right? But now, so Usman Nurmagomedov is going to have Khabib in the corner. Paul Hughes was rumored to have Conor McGregor.
Is he going to be there? I mean,
Conor's
been busy in the States.
He said he was going to be when the fight first got announced, but since then, we have not heard anything. So,
bastard.
Currently unknown, but God, it'd be so
Someone would say
funny.
we're used to Conor lying to us now.
Literally, dude. Like, honestly, it's like the Dana White meme.
Josh is like,
don't believe his lies. Okay,
Josh, you know, one day we're gonna be that Vince McMahon meme talking about Conor.
He was special. He was special. That's how I feel now. That's how
you
I
know
feel.
what's crazy now.
Dude,
You know why you're gonna get interviewed now. You're gonna get interviewed by Vice to be Dark Side of the Cage. You're gonna talk about.
Oh
Conor.
my God, dude! I was literally Dark Side of the Cage. I still gotta watch it, guys. I'm available for interviews, guys. I'm available. I'm right here.
Would you actually want to talk about some of these people?
Fuck yeah, man! I'll talk about Kimbo. They had Kimbo. They had
Evan Tanner.
R.I.P. Evan Tanner. You know, so that'd be fun.
Is it full? Are they like the episodes full on YouTube, or how do you get access? To
I think the first one's on YouTube and the rest of them are on Hulu.
We did not hear that last word, but yes.
Oh no! I mean, we gotta say it because we're.
No, I'm just kidding.
We're not. We don't have any sponsorship deals with any of these companies.
No, I'm just dicking about. But Hulu, if you want to reach out.
Yeah. Hey man, shit, Hulu. Hey. Anyway, so main event, dude. According to the current line from our friends over at BetMGM, you can follow that link down below to get up to $1,500 and bonus bets paid back. Current line from BetMGM. Usman Nurmagomedov. Well, they've listed him as Umar on best fight odds. A minus 450. Paul Hughes a plus 340. Angel, thoughts?
I get it, and also it's PFL. You know I feel like odds are gonna be a lot harder for these kind of things. Events watched less, obviously. I mean, it's a banger of a fight. Are we doing pickups or are we just kind of talking about it?
You can throw your pick out there, but it won't be listed. Like, we won't keep track of this one.
I mean, I would assume Usman would be the favorite. I mean, who knows? Maybe Paul Hughes fucks things up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of Usman now where I know he's good, and I think he's one of the best 155s on the planet. The real question is, I'm not quite sure yet, and don't get me wrong, if Paul Hughes is one of the best 155ers on the planet.
It's the way I feel, yeah. I mean, AJ McKee's a great win, but a former featherweight. Paul Hughes also a former featherweight. Mm-hmm. Facing a big guy in Usman at 155. It's gonna be tough. I mean, it got on my head prediction. I'm obviously picking Usman Nurmagomedov.
I feel like Usman's like battle tested now too. I mean, Shabli win, the Primus win, the Henderson win, beating Patricky, Chris Gonzalez at its time. Chris Gonzalez was 7-1. I mean, he's kind of hyped up. They were kind of hoping he was gonna be a big thing, and he ended up having his own struggles. Yeah. So, I feel like now he's I wouldn't say a lot more battle tested than Paul Hughes, but yeah, he's got a lot. He's got a tall task. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. The McKee win was great. I listened to him talk about that. He wasn't personally happy. He felt like that performance could have been better. I don't know. And I'm not sure how McKee would do against Usman either. I mean, both of them were extremely interesting fights. Yeah. But I don't know if I ever see either one of them beating Usman. I mean, I could be fucking wrong, dude. Saturday, we could be talking about how Ireland just scored big against Dagestan.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, man. Admittedly, I don't think this fight's gonna be like. I saw some people comparing like this fight to obviously Merab over the weekend because it's two Nurmagomedovs, not Khabib, and
it's different.
They're both big favorites. People are like, oh man, wouldn't it be crazy if Hughes upset? Like, dude, such different fights. Yeah. Paul Hughes needs to keep this fight on the feet. I think he'll have more success on the feet, obviously, than Usman. I don't think Usman's that type of guy yet. He's not bad on the feet. He's cleaner than Khabib. He's landing some good strikes. I mean, I think he. What was it, a head kick of Vincent Henderson before he ended up submitting him?
And he brought it to Shabli, too.
He didn't. I thought if it was going to be a fight that he's going to struggle with, it was going to be that Shabli one. But he ended up running through him. And I think even Usman said, you want to see, my big challenge? He's interviewed by Morning Combat's, BC. He was interviewed by him, and he was like, want to see my big challenge? Look up my last fight, brother. That last fight, But Usman being a cocky little fuck. I'm not sure if you've seen all these videos that have come out.
I respected that.
And I was kind of like, dude, let's go.
Is he playing the Conor role more?
I think, honestly, they're building this up very well.
Are they almost being opposites? Paul's being calm, cool, but he's confident. And then Usman's kind of talking more shit.
It's kind of the inverse of the Khabib Conor roles, honestly. You know, like Paul Hughes is the one being cool, calm, collected. Like, all right, yeah, you're gonna see on Saturday. It's gonna be your problem. And Usman's like, brother, you're not on the same level with me. You're nothing to me. Like, just all this shit, you know. So,
do you think there's actually a lot of weight to the Ireland Dagestani thing, or is it something we're just creating in our heads?
I think there's a decent amount of weight to it because it shows, like in Khabib, you know, he was like, it's not a rival.
By the way, this weekend in California, next weekend in Dubai, shout out Khabib, right?
Yeah,
and Islam. I'm sure Islam's gonna be in the corner, right?
Probably, yeah, I would imagine.
After a fight, respect. I mean, granted, it's not like Islam's took a lot of damage. You know?
Shit. But anyways, yeah, like they've built this thing up perfectly. I'm gonna pick Usman to win. I think the Dagestan and Russia, I guess Dagestan, you know, not Russia, excuse me, rivalry with Ireland is awesome. I think it's great, and despite what Khabib says, it's a real rivalry. You can. It's like.
Isn't it crazy now that like for the rest of the time, anytime there's an Irish guy and a Russian guy that happen to be matched up together, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, like some bad bloods, and also you add in the fact that Usman obviously is from the same camp, and Paul Hughes is not trained out of SPG Ireland, but
he's at a completely different gym.
He is Fight Academy Ireland, but he's close with some SPG guys, and
which is pretty cool.
In the corner.
I mean, it makes sense. Not a big country, right?
Yeah, exactly. Co-main event. This one's going to be an instant prediction. Vadim Nemkov is going to beat up Tim Johnson. Tim Johnson, 39-year-old out of Minnesota, coming off a loss to Denis Goltov in August. Prior to that, he won 3 in a row in the PFL. But yeah, man, I mean, he's outmatched here. He's outmatched. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he should be. I mean, there should be a Vadim Nemkov win every day of the week.
Yeah, Vadim Nemkov moved up to heavyweight. Obviously,
if Nemkov wins, this is a massive L.
Yeah. I mean, he moved up to heavyweight last year. He submitted Bruno Capoloza. He was hoping to get more fights in 2024, but just because of the PFL being the PFL, he couldn't. He wants to keep the momentum going. This is his last fight on his PFL deal. So I'm, fingers crossed we can get Vadim Nemkov in the UFC. Really, fingers fucking crossed.
Dang, no fucks given. You're just putting it out there.
Yeah, man. Why would I want him to stay in? Here's the thing, like, dude, like, if you are an MMA fighter, and this is not a decade ago, right? Like a decade ago, you could get paid well, and you could work for Scott Coker, who's going to treat you respectfully well, and Bellator has some coverage and yada yada yada. Nobody gives a shit about the PFL. They're actively harming their own talent by not promoting fights, downright insulting them on various occasions. So, like, why would you even if they're offering you a new contract, they're not going to uphold to it. Why the fuck would you sign the deal? So, yeah, I don't get it.
They're self-imploding.
Yeah. The undercard for this
it's a pretty weak PFL / Bellator.
Very, very. Nathan Kelly is a decent prospect out of Ireland. He was really supposed to face Hassan Magomedsharipov, which that would have been electric.
That's kind of a loss right there.
Yeah, instead facing Ahmed Magomedov, who I believe is 10-1, much more unknown. But yeah, I mean, it's a decent card. The main and co-main are awesome. It falls off a fucking cliff afterwards, unfortunately.
A lot of talent. I'm assuming a lot of PFL meta talent too.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. I'll have fun watching it, but it's not anything overwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, Angel, it's time to break into the news. We have a few things to cover, not a whole lot, but we got a fair bit. We're going to start off with the top. The Ultimate Fighter is coming back. Yes. After
how long now has it been going on?
20 years? 2005. So this is going to be the 20th year of the Ultimate Fighter. Which is actually pretty cool. Not gonna lie, it's pretty cool they made it 20 years. Admittedly,
crazy it stuck around.
Yeah, we were one of the people that were covering Tough for a long time, but then by the end of it, it's like, okay, who the fuck is watching this? It's only us.
Oh, so it's not how it used to be. It's more game show like than reality TV. Which I think, funny enough, what we liked was the reality TV aspect.
Yeah,
disgusting out of us, right? But
no, I love some shitty reality TV. I like I'm not that I won't watch Too Hot to Handle or Love Island, but I'll watch some 60 Days In or some weird shit,
Yeah,
but
you're not bad like me, I'll watch some Below Deck, some Jersey Shore,
I fuck with some Below Deck. I don't hate it. Jersey Shore's not for me. Not for me.
Very dated.
Very dated. But I think, what's funny is, I was talking with my fiance about this. I was like, have you ever watched Jersey Shore? It's like, yeah, back in the day, I saw a couple of episodes. Like, should we watch the Jersey Shore? Just kind of like, it was just like,
dude, it's such trash that you enjoy it because it's so bad.
Light up some ELYXR Delta 8.
You're giving me ideas now when I
put on some Jersey. Yeah, literally. Like,
right now I'm doing my Smallville rewatch.
No, well,
shout out Talkville podcast.
Yeah, shout out the Smallville podcast. Yeah. Anyways, I'm watching The Penguin right now. It's pretty fun. So, anyways, Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen will coach the Ultimate Fighter season 33. The 20th year of Tough has 2 UC Hall of Famers, two veterans of the game, hosts of the Good Guy, Bad Guy podcast. The two best personalities, analyst-wise, in my opinion, in the game. Give me your thoughts. Admittedly, I'm the type of guy, like, I need good coaches to get me involved at this point in my MMA watching life. These are two coaches that I will watch whenever the show airs later this year.
I feel like they should not be hell-bent on having, like, champ versus challenger. I feel like they could have done, like, this could have been Moreno Roybal.
Yes.
You know? And it would have been great. Granted, it's cool, but it's kind of like, oh, you know, like, the cool thing about the Ultimate Fighter was, like, the coaches got to fight at the end. You know, the coaches were, like, in a long multi-month fight camp as well, leading up to each other, seeing each other on the daily on top of training you guys. And the funny part of the show too is, like, is your guys' coaches going to end up being good? Because you get scenarios where some of the coaches kind of just bring in their coaches and let them coach, and they're kind of just there and they get to be in your corner and they're more of a figure opposed to, like, an actual coach.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to get the coaches who are super dedicated, very dedicated to each fight, or there at every fight, are there for your entire preparation, put attention specifically to you. You know, and I feel like we're not gonna fully get that like we are this time around. Like, and I feel like, you know, both these guys are hyper competitive, so I think they'll put a lot of effort into, you know, drafting their teams, you know, being dedicated, you know, being focused on their careers. And obviously, I feel like DC and Shaw are both guys are, you know, they're really good guys. You know, they'll check in on these guys after they're out of the show. But at the same time, it's kind of like, damn, I'm not gonna lie, if this was like 10, 15 years ago, damn, Chael Sonnen versus DC at 205 sounds like a damn good fight.
Oh my god! And they said on their podcast, they're like, we're gonna have to grapple, aren't we? We're gonna have to do something fun for this. And it's like, all right, I'd watch a grappling match. It's only, you know,
I wouldn't be mad, especially with how big grappling's gone with it. I'd check that out.
Yeah,
as long as it was on Fight Pass and I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, and apparently it's gonna be aired on ESPN Plus and Fight Pass in case you guys are curious. I'm a little bit different to you. I think this is something that, like, I'm agreeing with you. The fact they should not do champions and challengers, I think that's overdone, especially for some fights. Like, it's not needed. Yeah. Like, the last season was McGregor Chandler, two contenders, two great personalities. I enjoyed that season.
It was actually a fun season. Yeah, you're not wrong.
The one before that was Grasso Shevchenko. Why the fuck are we doing?
And it was an alright season.
Yeah, it was. Before that, we had Peña Nunes. That one works because those two are actually rivals and they have good chemistry. Mm-hmm. What did we have before that? It was Volkanovski and Ortega. Do we really need?
It was all right. It was fun. Yeah, you know, it was okay way back in.
Yeah, I think that they just need to focus more on personalities and not on champions. I think that would this be nice if these guys are both active and fighting still? Yes. But I think DC and Chael Sonnen have the personalities to get people involved and to get people to care about the show for the first time in years. The Conor show got people to watch more than normal, but obviously they didn't.
And also they got like an initial nice little burst, I think.
Exactly. Like, you look at the ratings are much worse compared to whenever Conor was on the first time, but so much has changed. That's why I don't care about ratings like at all, honestly. Like, the only thing that people watch now is
clips, social
NFL.
Media, YouTube, all of that.
Like, nobody watches any show on cable now that's huge. Like, it's the NFL and that's it. Even news is online now. Everybody gets their news from fucking Joe Rogan and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Twitter.
That's the way it works now. So you can't really compare ratings from before to now. But I think that if this show is going to do well, man, I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it, genuinely. It's going to be male flyweights and welterweights. And you know me. A flyweight season coached by Chael Sonnen and David Cormier feels like somebody was just looking into my mind. And
that is pretty good. You're not wrong.
Let's get Josh involved.
So welterweights?
Welterweights and flyweights, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I almost wish they would have had some ladies here. I think it would have been a really funny dynamic.
Women's bantamweights would fit perfectly.
Women's bantamweight, men's flyweights, both. And look, there could have been cross training there with the the guys being around the same size. Like that could have been fun.
Yeah. So they're not gonna do it.
And also, like, the own drama that could also come up of having, you know, early 20-year-olds for the most part in the tough house would be funny, you know?
Yeah. So I'm excited, man. I'm hyped for it. We don't have a release date yet, but apparently the guys have been casted. The casting call went out last month, so we just don't know yet.
Hopefully they get some personalities in there. Hopefully they get some championship material.
Exactly. That'd be nice, but we don't know really details outside
I'm
of
sure the
divisions.
flyweight pool will be good. What if they get Shorty Torres back?
Oh, dude, don't even say that. Don't even say that. Fucking say that. Next up.
Yeah, you're almost like, no, why are you getting excited,
God,
you bastard?
I know it's not going to happen, you know? Next one up. This, I don't even...
When you like Ren Hiramoto in the tough house.
Dude,
that would be a shit show.
Shut up, dude. Literally.
Is that what you want?
Of course I want that, bro. Come on, man. Shit. What are we doing here? Anyways, man, this announcement, I didn't even know what to say. Online, it was such a bad announcement that everybody was like, okay, there has to be another explanation because this is so bad. But it was for real. KSI announced that he was going to fight former Premier League star Wayne Bridge. I'm an American. I'm wearing the other footy jersey right now. I admittedly had no fucking idea who Wayne Bridge is. He talked about fighting. Oh man, who was the other footballer he was thinking about fighting a few months
Wayne
back?
Rooney.
Wayne Rooney. I know Wayne Rooney. I do not know Wayne Bridge. Okay,
I don't blame him because I didn't know Wayne Bridge either. I'm sure he was great.
that's crazy. Okay, because we don't talk about it. Angel follows that shit.
Not like I used to.
Not as heavily, but the fact that you didn't know who Wayne Bridge either.
I'm sure he's popular. I'm sure he is. I'm sure I just didn't know him.
Well, all right. Point being though, KSI versus Wayne Bridge. KSI has not been seen since he lost to Tommy Fury, October 2023, and a cruiserweight fight against a guy who's 44 and has never fought before. It was so bad that people online were like, God, is this real? Like, there has to be another explanation. No, that was for real. That was the real fight. And Wayne Bridge pulled out. He pulled out like 2 days later. He said that KSI was talking shit to him. And he was talking about his ex-wife and all this stuff. And he's like,
you know what? Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I don't need this. I'm done. I don't need this. I thought it'd be fun. My kids look up to KSI. I thought it'd be a fun thing to do, but I don't need this shit. So now KSI is without an opponent.
What a hoe. I'm gonna just keep it 100.
Yeah, I don't know what he was expecting, but
bro, have you not seen this shit?
Yeah.
Like, and you said yes. Like,
I don't get it. Point being, KSI's now opponentless, dude. This whole thing, I've never seen, and we talked about this before. Influencer boxing has kind of lost us over the last few years,
because they just lost their way, dude. They couldn't continue making big fights.
Exactly, and dude, but this one was so bad. Like, this was so bad to think that, like,
we even forgot about this card. I saw it going down. I was like, dude, I completely forgot. I wanted to catch some of it.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So this is the fight that if they knew what they were doing over there, this is the clearest fight to make. Darren Till versus KSI. Darren Till knocked out Anthony Taylor, showing, by the way, the levels, right? Showing the levels. Anthony Taylor, pretty boy, was running through some of these influencers, man. They couldn't do shit to him. And then Darren Till, dude, nearly hospitalized Anthony Taylor. Like,
well, he's also way, way bigger than him.
Correct. And it was short notice, and there's a lot of stuff you could say, but dude, that was a hard to watch fight.
Also, Darren Till got a wire loose,
That's true. Yeah, it was a hard to watch fight. Darren Till, though, just beat
fighting
the
Darren Till is like fighting someone on meth.
Yeah.
Like it's probably not going to go well for either of you.
Exactly. That
was good, wasn't it?
I like that. Point being, though, Darren Till versus KSI is the fight to make. The fact that, like, they thought, or not even Darren Till, co-main event, Wade Plem won a fight. KSI and Wade Plem have been beefing for years. That's a genuine beef there. They don't like each other. Easy. That's an easy fight to book. If you're gonna stick in the influencer lane, like, God,
I don't know
dude.
what the fuck they're gonna do. It's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's. But here's the issue: is I think it's actually really easy. It's either it's Darren Till or Wade Blunt or Jake Paul, but Jake Paul's not gonna do it. Those two are never gonna fight. They're so far apart at this point.
It's sad.
It's really sad
because that could still be big. That could be massive. That could be $1 million pay-per-view buys there.
Shit, dude. Where's Amir Khan? KSI. You were talking about fighting Amir Khan. Pull up Amir Khan.
Well, Amir Khan ducked him. No, I was kidding.
That fraud, Amir Khan. No, it's just that
man, just like Diego Sanchez running away from FPS Russia. That fucking fraud. Now he's in Vice documentaries trying to make money.
Dude,
make people feel sorry for him.
Dog, and there are people. There are people coming after me for making that joke, and it's like, God, guys, I'm not the one who made Diego Sanchez not sign the contract. Come on. Anyways, dude, maybe that's who KSI should fight. Diego Sanchez.
By the way, the fact that what's his name, Rob Feldman,
David Feldman.
David Feldman. My bad. Sorry, David.
No, you're good.
But David Feldman was gonna make FPS Russia versus Diego Sanchez a reality. Is the most random fights thing ever.
No, dude, that's like that's like actually early BKFC shit, dude. No, that fits perfectly. You gotta remember this is like 2019. They're like, yo, dude, like we're fucking doing anything we can to get people to pay attention to us, Like,
dude, but think about it though, like that's some
where's Paulie Malignaggi at?
That was some degenerate shit, dude. FPS Russia versus
he was shredded though. He was shredded
versus Diego Sanchez.
Like, yeah, Diego. On one side we have a UFC Hall of Fame, and on the other side we have the guy who shoots guns a decade ago and got really big. You're like, fucking
got really big off steroids at that.
Come on, dude. What are you saying?
And then
Kyle Lamar Myers is on,
and then went to federal prison.
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, what are you gonna do? who's checking the mail? You know, like who's checking the mail? So
He's not even wrong though.
yeah. So
Well, they definitely won't be checking the mail now that the Silk Road guy is gone. Or I guess they will be. My bad.
yeah, they got to start checking the mail again.
But with that whole, well, we're not gonna talk about that tonight. We're gonna talk about that off air.
What about that thing?
The Silk Road guy, yeah.
Yeah, crazy shit, crazy.
Well, I
time
was
in
gonna
life.
ask you about something, but we'll
Okay,
talk
okay.
about it off air.
So KSI, as far as the wrap up with him, no longer fighting Wayne Bredge, should fight Darren Till or Wade Plem or fucking Jake Paul or Amir Khan. There's so many good fights to do, but it's like, dude, I don't know what his management's doing, or it's him, dude. Because even internally, you should know that this is just a
I
terrible.
think this might be
fight
like
to
a
make.
promotional thing. I think this is more of a Misfits thing too.
Yeah, probably, and maybe he just wants to. Maybe there's like a contractual thing, like, oh, I have to fight once a year, and I don't really feel like fighting. Maybe just go fight.
I think the Misfits branch as a whole is just failing
Yeah.
because there is internet beefs out there. They're not maybe people we know, but they
Yeah.
exist, and they'll get people who are on social media.
Well, and that's
going.
why I said KSI Wade Plum, man. That's a real influencer beef right there. If you're still sticking with the influencer thing, you know, like what are we doing?
I mean, a while back, I thought Bryce Hall versus this other kid, I can't remember his name, would have been good. I mean, they had some beef. I mean, I don't know
what
them
you're talking
well,
about, yeah.
but I mean, it would have got eyes on this shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Fight Bryce Hall. That's another one. But I think Bryce Hall is supposed to be fighting in BKFC, so whatever.
Yeah, he has one more fight in BKFC.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, fight announcements as well. These ones should happen. Not only they should happen, they are incredible fights. UC 313 going down, Sin City, Las Vegas. Alex Poatan Bahia at the top of the bill against Magomed Ankalaev. Finally.
By the way, that
Finally
fucker,
happened.
tried to tease us like it wasn't gonna happen. Can you
For real,
believe that?
yeah.
You remember that? He was tweeting stuff like, "It's not gonna be Ankalaev."
Yeah, he said something like, Australia, I see you soon. Chama. And it's just
What a
like,
little troll. I gotta give him credit though. I gotta give him credit. He got people rattled up. I got rattled up.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude.
He did his job. I gotta give him credit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. I'm very, very excited for this fight. I'm fired up, man. I'm fired up. It's about time. And if they gave it to anybody else, it would have been fucking ridiculous. If they would have done Pahea against Volkov like the rumor was, that would have been ridiculous. But dude, not only are we getting that fight, we are getting one of the most violent fights, 5 rounds. Justin the Highlight Gaethje against Dan the Hangman Hooker. Potential title shot on the line. Give me your thoughts on this fight, man.
I mean, it's a banger fight. Is it good for both of these guys' health? Probably not, because these guys are both do or die. But you never know. It could be a quick finish. It could be maybe a second round knockout. But I'll tell you what, no matter what, that first round will be 5 minutes of hell.
Exactly. And I'm genuinely worried for Justin Gaethje after retirement. But for right now,
God bless his soul.
fuck it, we ball. Fuck
Dude,
it.
Am I incorrect in saying this? Has he gotten a bonus in every single one of his UFC fights?
I believe you're correct. Correct. Yes, you are correct.
That's actually insane.
Wait. No, he did not. UFC 274. I was in Dallas, Texas this night. May 7th, 2022. Charlie Olives. That fight, no fight of the night bonus, no performance of the night bonus.
I wonder who beat him that night.
That was Charlie Olives.
No, I'm saying, but who beat him to get the performance?
Oh, okay. That was fight of the night. That night was Brandon Royval, Matt Schnell. And then the performance of the night was Michael Chandler for knocking out Tony Ferguson and Andre Fiallo for knocking out Cameron Vanderkamp. So he also didn't get a performance for his fight with Habib either. So, but those are the only two. So
Outside of that, though,
2 out of like fucking 13 fights in the UFC or something.
he makes an extra 50 G's.
Yeah, so insane. I love this fight, man. It's the perfect fight to make for both guys at this stage of their career. Both top, I believe, 6 at this point still. So let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. One quick announcement. This one flew under the radar. But I want to get your thoughts on it. Don Davis, PFL founder Don Davis, saying that Francis Ngannou, the next time we see the Predator, will be in the boxing ring. And he said that he didn't want to give too much away. Oh my God, he said he did not want to give too much away, but he said that's Ngannou's business to tell. He has something big in the works. Angel, I'm gonna ask it to you. Who do you want to see Francis Ngannou fight in the boxing ring, and who do you think he's most likely to face?
I'm imagining it's a name. I'm going to say my top 2 picks are going to be Wilder Fury.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Admittedly,
That or fucking, who's the other one? Bacoli?
Martin Bacoli was rumored, but he is FA at Jogba right now.
Yeah. So.
I think it has to be. Yeah, you're right. Fury or Wilder. That's the only thing that makes sense.
I feel like they're gonna be big. I feel like he's only. I think we talked about this. Remember, I'm like, Yatter has to start off slow or he goes big. But the thing is, once he goes big, he can't go back.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Like even guys like I could see him fighting Derek Chisora, but Chisora's booked up right now. And Ngannou, the whole thing is he's supposed to fight twice this year, which means his next fight should be happening.
Wilder
around...
doesn't have anything. It only makes sense.
Well,
Doesn't
Deontay Wilder just signed a fight. Oh my god, I can't believe we didn't talk about this. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, he did. You're right. Fuck
No, hold on. The opponent changed. It's no longer Steven Shaw. Did you know who Deontay Wilder's next opponent is?
I don't know.
His next opponent is allegedly going to be Curtis Harper. Curtis Harper was the boxer who's gone viral back in 2017 for in the first 10 seconds of the fight, the heavyweight that immediately left and walked up the ramp and left the arena. That's who it is.
Yes.
That is who he is allegedly going to fight, I believe, next month or in March. Curtis the Hurt Harper, 18-11 record. He's won his last 4.
Dude, talk about getting a get me back, man. Talk about getting a get me.
April, apparently. April is the rumor.
You telling me they can't align a fight for the end of the year for Ngannou, though? Granted, though, it feels like Ngannou will come back earlier. So, fuck, I don't know.
Ngannou said he wants to fight around April, May. Oh, God, I would fucking hate that, man. Oh, God, Zhang would just... Wait a minute, no, Zhang's booked. Zhang's booked.
Fuck.
Big Bang.
Big Zhang.
He said that, oh man, let me see if I can find who he's supposed to fight. Because he just signed it. I'm not stupid, right? Okay, he's going to fight Ajit Kabel on the undercard of Dubois Parker. He said, Kabel, I will bang you. No diddy.
Sounds like something Zhang would say.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, everybody's booked up. I have no idea who Ngannou is going to fight. I mean, obviously, Deontay Wilder would be the obvious one. Tyson Fury is
he gonna fight Klitschko?
I mean, I would like it, but like, it's just weird. It's just weird. That's all.
I don't know. Then I actually don't know. Like all my choices don't make sense.
Exactly.
Man.
Like it's gonna be a top name guy, but all the top name guys are booked. So I don't know. But I mean, I would logically. I don't imagine
it's gonna be Andy Ruiz.
No, I wouldn't think so. But I wouldn't hate that fight. Actually, that'd be a fun fight. It'd be a fun fight, but it'd be odd. It'd be a fun fight, though.
Right. Be a little random.
Yeah, I mean, Fury, I mean, just looking at it, Fury, Wilder after making a quick turnaround, or Ruiz. That's it. Yeah. Everybody else is booked up, so we'll see. Maybe it's one of these guys. This is the last story. It's not even much of a story. I just got to ask, did you see Jake Paul and Mike Tyson celebrating at Donald Trump's inauguration?
It was silly. It was funny. I saw it.
Yeah, I saw the clip. Jake Paul boosting Mike up on his shoulders and they're partying.
That's a lot of man. I got to respect it.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's rob them blind, right? Rob those suckers blind. Make that 60 million.
They're like, we made all that money, motherfucker.
Like, dude, literally. Like normally I see those comments online when like a bad fight happened and people are like, yeah, they're probably backstage right now laughing it up. And it's like,
these guys were
actually laughing it up backstage, bro. They actually knew, like, damn, we're going to get paid $60 million for a sparring session, dude. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
So
just don't knock me down or knock me out.
Exactly. So, yeah, I had to throw that one in there, dude, because I saw that on Twitter and I'm like, these dudes couldn't even wait 2 months to start celebrating their huge payday. So, yeah, man. Very, very funny stuff. Jake Paul still waiting for his next opponent, by the way. He said there's going to be an announcement in January. We're getting near the end of January, and we still don't know anything, so we'll see. Anything else you want to go ahead and talk about before we close out here, man?
No, I'm excited to come back and get back to a card. I'm a little upset that they put a break in this quick.
It's odd.
Because we had all that time off, then we have 2, and then we're off again. But I got to give them credit. We come back to bangers. It's that Izzy card in Saudi, which is going to be so much fun to talk about because it's pay-per-view level quality, I think, almost. And then after that, literally a pay-per-view, but not pay-per-view quality to an extent, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's going to be a whole another conversation when that comes around, and we'll see how we end up rating that card. Imagine if that card beats UFC 311.
Yeah.
Knowing me, I'm such a weirdo. I might give it a good ranking.
It's fine, guys. We're gonna do our letterbox ratings next week. Like we're gonna huge thing. Normal by now.
And also, we still got this week where the fights. And I think isn't Inoue fighting like this weekend?
Oh yes, correct. He's gonna be fighting.
He had another
very
opponent
short
change.
Notice. Unknown kid. I didn't even know this guy's name, but I'm gonna give him some shine just because.
Is it a Japanese fighter this time?
I believe so. Japanese or Korean? I just can't remember. Yi Jun Kim.
Oh, I think it is Korean.
Yeah, South Korea, 21-2, super bantamweight. I mean, I don't know any of these.
I mean, this guy's just here to make some money.
Coming off he won his last 2, but he lost a fight to 14-9 Rob Diesel last April.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that guy's going to do a turnaround and be pound for pound great
I
on
don't
the
think
planet.
so. I don't think so, Angel. I think we're
No.
tough matchup here. Anyways, man, that's all for me though. It should be a fun fight happening Friday. At least I'm excited to see anyway back, but
Dude, next week's going to be crazy. We're either going to come back heartbroken or the happiest men on planet Earth.
I know how we're gonna come back. I know. I'm fully confident. I'm fired up.
What a Chad.
I'm fired the fuck up. Woke up feeling dangerous.
Let him know, Josh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm at Josh Soundoff on Twitter at Angel Ortega _1 for my boy over here at Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Peace.